How many greens can I get in the shot? This week I have relaunched Speak Up, and this process, this program is near and dear to my heart, and I am drip feeding the content. So for the next 4 weeks, the members of Speak Up are getting 2 modules a week, the first on the Monday and the second on the Thursday. So module 1 has gone live today. And I wanted to give you a bit more of an insight behind the scenes as we go along, why I have designed this in this way. And module 1 is all about the magic of you in this online space. So if you haven't heard me talking about speaking previously, it's so incredible for so many things. Yes, the big glitzy, oh my goodness, I'm speaking here, or they flew me to New York, or I'm going to be part of this summit, or whatever it might be. You know, the kind of the glossy things where you get your nice little trust stamp. However, it can also work in a much more quiet way. So it can be great for running workshops from your home, selling stuff, creating content. And I know so many people that follow me are in that space where they are literally, and I guess I am to a certain point, but I'm not sort of in those early years anymore. But sometimes it can just feel a lot, and you've got this constant running to-do list, and you're not quite sure where to put your efforts. And people just keep saying, just be visible. And I've always had this need to create stuff that I know will work for me again and again. So in module 1, I'm really helping you to design this initial offering, like who you are, what you're all about, how you contribute. And the reason that we start there is because, number 1, you can't leave it up to other people to decide. And years ago, when I was first starting out as an actor, many actors, especially when they were graduating, they were leaving it for somebody to try and figure out. So a casting director, a producer, an agent, like, oh, just get me in the room and I'll show you what I can do. I really think that those days are over. You have to shortcut the process for people so they can make a decision about who you are, what you're all about, and get going along that track. Also, it's brilliant that once you have decided, once you say, this is the kind of person I am, this is what I offer, this is what I'm all about, that will work for you again and again. And you never know who is looking at you, who is Googling you, who's lurking on your website at 2 o'clock in the morning. You just don't know any of these things. But I think there is an element sometimes where people just hope for the best, that they'll be discovered, or somebody will find them, or somebody will just love their work. And I really don't think that it is accurate or helpful. Also, it doesn't put you in that driving seat of your career. The second thing is, by doing all of these works that I show you how to do in module 1, you become an easy yes. You also become an easy no, which is no bad thing, because you want to be speaking in spaces and places where you're really going to excel. That is absolutely a given thing. And there will be some places where you're not going to excel, where people don't get your vibe, and it's just not the right room for you. So better to understand that now and then put your energy into an easy yes. I really dislike long email trails. I hate going back and forth and here and there and doing the things and can we just have another chat? I've got a couple of other questions. Oh my goodness, it really drains my energy. And what you can do by really focusing on becoming an easy yes, doing this module 1 and Speak Up, is that you skip a lot of those things, because a lot of those questions have already been asked and people can essentially tick them off their list and go, yeah, we're going to proceed. Or they will know earlier on, actually, this is not going to work. This is not the right flavor. And we're looking for somebody who's a bit more like this. It will save you so much time, effort, stress, etc. Number 3, I've always spoken to clients for the last nearly 15 years about building strong foundations. And to be able to put yourself out there on a regular basis, to work for yourself, it takes an incredible amount of energy. And sometimes there is this sense that the work is never done. You've always got another idea. There's something else that lands on your shoulders. You're doing about 4 different roles that a normal company would have 4 separate people, but you're doing it all. And so when I'm working with clients one-on-one, I'm always asking them to think in terms of strong foundations, almost like you were building a house. Yes, sometimes the foundations, they're the really key parts that take a lot of time. You know, you might feel like slow progress. When am I going to see something? And then suddenly, whoosh, the whole thing appears and it comes to life and it's a brilliant thing. And the thing is, most people want to do the lovely cushion buying. Most people want to just look at colours or paints or talk about curtains or floors, like all of the fun bits. And you can have the fun bits because also once the foundations are in place, you can repaint that room essentially as many times as you want, or change the cushions or buy new crockery or whatever it is that makes it fun for you. But if you can build strong, solid foundations, that will give you that longevity. It will also make things sustainable. So you're not just constantly feeling like you're building things and you've got nothing solid underneath. So we really go into that in module 1 in Speak Up, strong foundations. Number 4, sometimes there are moments where you feel like you have to deliver. You know, if you suddenly meet somebody at a networking or you're introduced, or sometimes I've been in casting rooms and then I've met somebody that I really wasn't expecting to meet, and it's that moment of like, oh wow, here we go then. This is that moment. Right, I better show up and do all of these things. And I now know that I'm not flapped in those situations because I've done all of this initial work. And by building my online home, my digital disco, really giving some thought as to who I am, what I'm all about, where my strengths lie, who I can help, all of that good stuff, I almost have it imprinted into every interaction. So I'm not just kind of pulling things out and just hoping for the best or saying any old thing because I haven't given it any thought. It's our responsibility and our role and our duty to do this foundational work in terms of our personal brand. Because I tell you what, once you do that, you are ready for anything. Yes, I get nervous sometimes if I have to go in and pitch, or if I have, you know, the 3rd recall audition and I really want the job. Absolutely, I'm a human being. Also, I think nerves show that you care, that you want to do the right thing, etc. But I have built such a strong foundation behind me. I feel like I've got a big pick and mix of all these things that I could bring to the table. Almost like a chef. Once you know those ingredients, you're like, no problem. Like, I'm here, I can set it up, I can cook anything you want because I know the foundational pieces. Number 5, it shows that you are serious and ready. And the thing is, at the moment, the point of entry is quite low. That you can start a business, you can become an influencer, you can use camera equipment, you can build a social media channel, you can do that. And when I was growing up and I was moving into becoming an actor, there was really, it wasn't the only way, but there was that assumption that drama school was the best thing, that you had to do these things, that you actually had to rehearse a lot, you had to be very proficient at what you did, very well trained and qualified. And I would always see interactions with people who were slightly in the coulda, woulda, shoulda kind of situation, like, oh, I was going to do that, or like, actually, I've got a really good voice, but like, maybe people, my voice is not on trend at the moment, or maybe my voice is just too high for what people like, or whatever the thing is, whatever the story. We've met all of these people, the coulda, woulda, shoulda. And I know that you're different. I know that you are ready to put your mind to this, you are ready to make it serious, and you are ready to step things up. Because you're not somebody who's just going to talk about it and chat about it, or maybe, you know, if you wanted to be a singer, just slag people off on X Factor. You are actually one of the people who wants to say, I'm going to go for this, I'm going to make this happen. And so in this circumstance, actions speak louder than words. You have to get in the game, get in the room, and do this work now. I know that you can charm the pants off anybody, sorry, that's a really bad expression, once you get in the room. But the thing is, there are so many people who will want to get in the room. There are so many people, almost imagine the waiting room. It's hard to even get into the waiting room. And so what you do by putting in these foundational pieces in terms of your online presence is you're showing that you're ready. Because also, not many people want to do that work. Actually, the work that I'm describing in Speak Up, although we aim to have a lovely time, sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's challenging, sometimes it's boring, sometimes it's tedious and frustrating. And you just think, oh, can't I just speak? Like, I don't want to do this. However, if you can hang on during that process, if you can do those things, they're going to honestly serve you again and again and again. I remember speaking at Stylist Live in 2018. So that will be 6 years in November. And I got my talk videoed, professionally filmed, and it sits on my YouTube channel. And that is part of showing I'm ready, showing I'm serious, and showing that I can do the job. And that is still a fundamental part. Yes, I paid for that. Yes, I kind of worked out all of the ingredients, but it was so, so worth it. So many people say that they want to do these things, but they have no evidence, or they have no backup. They have nothing in terms of a portfolio career. And honestly, if you can put these things in place right now, they're going to serve you so well. Also, being able to have those things in your back pocket of like, why don't I send you a link of the kinds of things that I talk about? Let me send you my portfolio. I'm going to email it to you now. It just puts you in a different league. So if you want to come and join Speak Up, there is still 25% off. Module 1 has gone live. Module 2 will be live on Thursday. And it's great. It's going to serve you in so many different ways. I can't wait to welcome you in. I think you're going to love it. It's absolutely packed full. You get lifetime access. You can do 1 payment or 2 payments depending on what you would prefer. But once you're in, you're in. And this will be my speaking room, essentially, in my online home. So once you are in that, any updates, any additions, any behind the scenes, any, oh my goodness, I've got to share this, that's where it's going to go. So thank you so much for listening, for watching. Speak Up is in my shop if you want to go and check it out, and I'll see you in there. Any questions, of course, just send me a message or email me or message me via my website, and I'll get back to you very, very shortly. Lots of love. Bye.